where I'm wearing a really warm wetsuit. All right.
All right, you want to get started?
Yeah, 2 o'clock. So if you're just joining us, thanks for coming. We are Tuesday Talks with the primary crew from 2 till 3-ish. So welcome. As usual, our hosts are myself, Samantha Van Hoot, Jana, and Nicole. And we have 2 guest speakers today. So I'll introduce them in a minute. And maybe Nicole, do you want to flip to the territorial acknowledgement?
Yep, I'm on 2 devices today here. So.
We acknowledge that the land on which we are gathered is part of the traditional territory of the Chippewa, Odawa, Potawatomi, and Delaware nations. These indigenous nations, known as the Anishinaabeg and Lenape, agreed through their ancestral languages to the mutual sharing of the land with obligations and responsibilities to the environment. Today, these responsibilities and obligations extend to all peoples.
Okay, so thanks, Nicole. Sorry, I was paused there. So again, thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Happy to see you. How many we got today? 25 today. That's awesome. Maybe let's do a quick check-in. How's everyone doing? Even if they want to chat in the chat box or come off the mic and tell us how you are, what's new, what's exciting, how you're feeling. Should probably pull up my chat.
Just give them a chance to maybe type in or an emoji or something you want to chat about. We do have 2 wonderings from emails that we're going to talk about today, but how are you guys feeling today? Maybe they could try that reaction that's in the bottom. Is that the reaction that comes up on the actual screen, like the thumbs up? Or
That
so
we
if I
learned
react
about?
with, oh, there's just a thumbs up. There's a thumbs up and a clap. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Let me find my reaction.
Sherry is living the dream.
What if you're not a clap or a thumbs up?
I know, there's only 2 reactions.
Love it.
Oh, wow.
I know, we need more. Yeah, and just a quick thanks to those teachers who did just send us some questions and stuff. That's great. It lets us know kind of what you guys are wanting. So that's how we gear our whole session around. Whatever you guys want is what we will try to deliver. So I think our first one was we had a question about Seesaw, and I think Nicole's going to demonstrate that for us today. And then we last week had a Apple Clips request. So I'm going to attempt to do a live demo of that today. And then we have 2 guest teachers today. So we have Cindy from last week and her sidekick or co-teacher or collaborator, Jessie. And they're going to share some really cool stuff with you this week. And then at the end, we're going to try breakout rooms again, just at the end of the session, to share some content that we've learned. And there's a little note there that I think is really important to share about, we want you to be our next guest teacher. So please, if you have something you want to share with us, or something you know that a colleague is doing that's awesome and you want to tell about them or ask us to talk to them, whatever you think, like we want to share all the cool work you guys are doing. So please reach out to us if you want to show some cool stuff. That being said, Nicole, do you want to do the Seesaw piece?
Okay, yeah, looking at the chat there.
Oh, yeah, I should pull that up.
So we had a question last time that asked, how can I look up a student's work rather than scrolling all through the journal feed? So an easy way to do that, if out of the way. You're going to go to your journal, and over where you have all of the students' names, you're going to find the student that you want to look for. Okay, and there's the student. And when you click that student's name, you'll see a folder pop up right beside them, but initially you won't see that folder. You see the child below, Stella. You can't see her folder at all, but once you actually select the name, you can see the folder. When you click on that folder, you can, well, this teacher has grouped all of her items by folders, which is really nice and easy to navigate through when you're trying to find something in particular, if you're looking for a math activity or whatnot. So I'll go into the Learning Commons things that I had posted. And then when I look through that, I can see all of the posts she did for me for the Learning Commons. Okay, so that's how you will find your students' work in one place, nice and easy.
Awesome. And that was a good question. Yeah,
it was great.
I'm glad.
Now in the chat there, I'm using Seesaw, wondering what else I can do to engage the kids. So seeing a lot of things that seem to be useful using Google Classroom, but wondering about Seesaw. So Padlet. Has anyone used like a Padlet link from Seesaw? And that's a possibility, Nicole, for them to put in a link if they were using a Padlet?
Yep, absolutely. So if they go to add, and you're going to, it depends if you're going to create an activity, because some of you have home code set up, or if you're actually going to just, if you're going to post to student work and you want to create a link that doesn't require an assignment, you're going to go to the link tool right there. Otherwise, if you are creating your activity, it's here, go to your assign activity. And when you create your new activity, you can create that link where your instructions are to add multimedia, and you put your link right through there, the link tool.
Has anyone done something like that that maybe could share? So, you know, it's interesting because we've also had this discussion. Just talking about how we're getting more comfortable with the platforms. It was at the beginning, it was all about, you know, getting to know Seesaw or getting to know Google Classroom. And we're now at a point where we've done it for enough weeks that we're starting to be like, okay, like what's next? Like, how can we engage the kids a little bit in some different fun activities? And so if that's the step where we're at, does anybody have something even simple just to share where you've kind of branched out a little bit and offered an activity to your kids that might be useful for the group? You can put it in the chat or you can unmute.
Jana, this would be a good spot. You could talk about your exploration with Adobe Spark too.
Well, you see, that's the thing. So I challenge you guys, and every week we're kind of like, hey, I challenge you to try something and bring it back. But for me, for those who know me, I never want to give a challenge without trying it myself. And so I thought, you know what? Sherry made me a challenge, and she said, I did the Adobe Spark. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that, because if I'm going to create a clips video using the Apple clips about Adobe Spark, which is what I've done, I need to know what I'm doing. And so I sat one afternoon and I used my daughter and her voice, and my husband, he's at the end of it, but I created a Adobe Spark read aloud for I'm bored. And so I just pulled a book out of my collection in my basement, and then I was able to create clips. But it's just, it was playing. And Sherry was absolutely right. I haven't used Adobe Spark since I left the classroom in 2015. And so I thought, this is a little bit overwhelming for me. I'm not kidding. It maybe took me, I don't know, 15 minutes. And really, that's because I was playing with it. We were playing with our voices and we were playing with the music and stuff. And so for those who've never used Adobe Spark, it's incredibly easy to use. We did create a small Apple Clips video that's been put up on our remote learning site as well. It's on Twitter, it's on Instagram. I just turned the volume down because you never like hearing your own voice. And so it is my voice on there, but it's on Facebook. We have lots of different videos, but I do appreciate that. I'm not sure what the first name is, but it's L Hendricks they've said, you know, they're seeing a lot of things that are useful in classroom. It's just a matter of seeing the compatibility with Seesaw. So Nicole, I'm really happy that you've said that we can just insert those links for those things. So if you're seeing something that's useful in classroom, it's possible that it's probably compatible with Seesaw. Would that be fair to say?
Yep, absolutely, it is.
We have something else in the chat here.
Okay.
Steph said I use Chatterpix to announce what the work is for the day to try and grab their attention. Steph, do you feel comfortable coming off and sharing a bit about that?
Sure. So I just with the Adobe Spark, we had talked about like that video with the read alouds before, and I mentioned I was using those as well, and they're really easy to do. I love it too. But the Chatterpix, so it just gives you 30 seconds, and I have a class mascot. And so sometimes I take a picture of the class mascot and of the class mascot talking. And sometimes I take a picture of my pets and have them talking. But it just gives me 30 seconds to tell them what activities they should look for today and what I've posted, because when you assign an activity, it doesn't show up in the general feed. So I put the Chatterpix post just to grab their attention at the start of the day and to let them know what activities will be there waiting for them.
That's awesome. Thanks, Steph. Is that the thing where it like makes the mouse move funny on other pictures and stuff? Oh, yeah. Cute. Okay.
We had used it in class before where we'd be doing. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
We'd used them in class before where I'd have shared readings, and then at the end of the month, I printed off different pictures that would go with the month. Like if it was winter, there'd be maybe in some of our poems were about winter animals. I had some winter pictures, and they picked the poem they liked the best, and then they used Chatterpix to record themselves reading it. And then I got an oral reading mark from it too. So they were familiar with Chatterpix, and so I just bounced it off of that and used it for making announcements for our work.
That's awesome. Thanks, Steph.
Fun.
So also in the chat there, it looks like Cindy shared that you can download the videos from Google Drive right to your camera roll, and then you can upload it from there with the Adobe Spark. Steph also says she loves the Adobe Spark as well. I use it all the time for read alouds and announcements. I can see a huge value in it. It's super easy to use. So yeah, there's my challenge. I played with it this week. You guys can play with it after the meeting and see what you can create. And feel free to share those. Like, and that's what we're talking about. When you're our guest teacher, we would love for you to just be like, hey, this is what I shared. Like, I know it's tough sometimes. Put yourself out there and show us what you make.
I'm just going to interject real quick while we're talking about that. I did a video because this week's Education Week, and I made a Spark video just as a thank you with some of the activities that we've been doing remotely, pictures of the kids and what they had done, and put that together and posted that on Seesaw for them too, just to thank them, because really Education Week this week is totally different than what it's been before, and we can't do it without them, and I just wanted to say thanks. So that's another great way to use it too.
It's awesome.
Cool. And I really wanted to just quickly pop back in the chat for a quick second. A while back, we had Kelly ask, can I go back and create folders, or do they initially have to be set up? And I see Lindsay answered, you can go back to set them up. I just want to make sure that that answered your question, Kelly. If you need anything more about that, like don't hesitate to text in or chat about that, so we make sure we can answer that for you, okay?
Can you see my Seesaw screen while it's kind of loading right now? I can.
Yep.
So if we go back to the class, and I'll change classes here. Okay, and you go into one of your activities. If you go to the, okay, you can go to the three dots, go up here to edit folders. And then you can either add it to a folder or you can create a new folder at the bottom here. So that's how you would do that if it's not listed in a folder quite yet. Does that help?
Nicole, while you're there,
Yep.
Marissa asks, how can I access a clip that I videotaped on my iPad on Google Drive to post to Seesaw? If I copy and paste the link, everyone needs to request the access. Is there another way?
Okay, so can you see my Google Drive here? Let me go to, go to a video that I had uploaded. You have to change the access settings if I'm understanding what. So here I have a video. Nice picture there, but you have to go to your share. Hopefully this is, I'm in the right.
Are you trying to change the permissions, Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just say a quick note about that. You cannot change permissions on an iPad. Or you can only, there's only
that's right,
limited options, because I've
Hey,
run into that problem.
Everybody had a really great weekend. I love seeing all of the bunnies that came in, and I hope you checked out the video on Facebook. And those that came hopping along after, I created another post so that people could see them come in as well. And this week I have another challenge for you. Surprise! I bet you knew there was another challenge coming. But this week I want you to think about having to stay at home and not being able to see our teachers and our friends and our family. Sometimes that can be a little bit tough, and it can make us feel a little bit sad inside. So I thought maybe
There we go. Yeah, so if
Not
you,
sure how it just started playing.
That's okay. I've had issues with the permission with on an iPad. So there's only certain options on an iPad, but when you go to like a desktop or a laptop, you can have more options for privacy settings or permissions, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I jump in on that one?
Yes, absolutely, Cindy.
For the iPad, that's where you can just download to the camera roll. So if Nicole, if she can go back to her Google Drive just for a sec.
Yep. You want me to go to the video, Cindy, or?
Yeah, if you go to the video, then in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the little arrow pointing down.
This one right here?
Yep. So, yep. As soon as you do that, you can actually download it to your camera roll. And then.
So I'm on my laptop right now, but yeah, that's. Okay, stop it.
Hi, boys and girls. I hope everybody had a really great weekend.
Stop trying to show us your video.
I'm not trying.
So if you were on a device like your iPad, you could download it to your iPad. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you did it on your phone or the iPad.
Okay.
Video on Facebook, and those that came hopping along after, I created another post of.
Okay.
So can I?
Cindy.
So I'm the one who asked the question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Marisa. Hi. So I still don't understand. If I want to add that to Seesaw, how do I add that clip to Seesaw?
So
that video clip.
You're going to, once you save that, are you working on a desktop or are you working on your iPad?
On a desktop.
Okay, so if you're working on your desktop, you're going to save it with that little arrow, down arrow, to your files.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to download it to your files. When you go into Seesaw, let me get out of here. You're going to go to assign activity. or however you're posting. If you don't have home code set
Yeah.
up, then you're not going to go to assign activity. Okay, you're going to go to add multimedia. And here you're going to upload. And then you're going to select, see down here, it says select from your computer, select from
Yes.
your Google Drive, or upload. So that's where you're going to choose. So this will bring you right to your Google Drive. That will bring you right to your files on your computer.
Okay, so first I have to save it as a file on my computer. Is that correct?
It depends. You can link it right to your Google Drive. Like it will bring you to your Google Drive.
That's what I did, but it did work. So I went to my Google Drive and I copied it. I put it into the Seesaw, but it's my Google Drive. So when they go click on it,
yeah,
it just, I get all these emails saying so-and-so requests access. So I have to go back to the Google Drive and add them so that it's shared with them.
Right. So do you see up here, if I just go to our notes from today, like our slides from today, and if you go to File,
yeah,
and Share, or you can just go up here to the orange button, Share as well.
Okay.
And it loads.
This is kind of what we were just chatting about a couple of seconds ago about changing the permissions. That's what I think
So
what you want to do.
Yeah. So you go to Advanced down here. It's kind of hidden.
Okay.
And this is all of your permissions of, see, it says who has access.
Okay.
So you're going to go to change here because it says specific people can access. You're going to change that. And what I always do is I don't put it public on the web, but I click this one that says anyone with the link.
Okay. All right.
So anyone with that link that you've sent them can have access to it.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
But you
That
have
makes
to make sure you change that. And then after you click that little dot, you have to click save.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. I think that's what I missed. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it.
So it looks like we are up to, let's stay with, is it Judine? I have a question about attaching a Google Docs link into Seesaw, referring to a field trip at Lauren Henderson Pond. So would that, have we already answered that question, Judine, for you, where you're adding the file? Or did you want to come on and tell us more about that?
My full screen of you here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've lost my full screen of you here. I clicked escape or something. Oh my gosh. I don't know.
Are you on a desktop?
I'm on a laptop. Okay.
Sometimes I just click at the very bottom and it comes up. So if you've pressed something, like, are you at like just kind of at the bottom and you kind of see the bottom of us? Rod, is that sometimes what happens is?
Well, yeah, another app might have been clicked and come to the front. So in your menu bar, sometimes you can just click on Zoom and that'll bring it to the front.
Yeah, it's not working.
Or Alt Tab.
Oh, there, wait a second. Open Zoom meeting. Okay, I think I got you back. So I'm not sure if I saw that little downloader button on the original video or slide. It was a slideshow that Lauren Henderson, Sharon Nethercott at Lauren Henderson put it together. So I'm gonna have to go open that document or that slideshow. I just saved it to my desktop, and I'll have to see if that little download arrow is there, I guess.
So if you've saved it to your desktop, you should be able to go right from upload. Do you see there?
Yeah.
And so same way, and then you're going to go, sorry, my bottom thing. So select from computer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to find it where you've saved it on your computer.
So on the left side there where it says desktop, it would be right on your desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've saved it to your desktop.
Yeah, and then I just paste the link.
So if I go, let me pick something random here. Okay, so I'm going to open that. Oh, this is a window one. Yeah, yours will be a Google Doc though, right? You said? Is it, or what
Yes.
did you say it was?
It's a Google Classroom doc of some sort. Google Doc. It's a
So
slide.
like mine gets, I change mine into PDFs and then it'll upload that.
Okay.
So when you go to save it to your computer, it automatically wants you to save it as a PDF or a Word file.
Okay.
And then it'll upload it like this. It'll put it in here and it'll create pages like this.
Oh, okay.
Of the document.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go give that a try.
If, you know what, just email me if you're having any problems and I can help you through that today.
Okay.
So just nicole.hooper@lkdsb.net.
Okay. I will try that. Thanks.
Okay, Gwendolyn, I ran into a situation using the links in a template for an activity this week. You created a Google form for a quiz and the kids couldn't actually get the form directly using the attached link. I ended up posting the link as a separate piece of work and that worked fine. Is that where we were asking just further in the chat that you change the permissions? Gwen, is that what was happening?
No, I was trying to help with the other situation you guys
Okay.
were on. No, I just when I posted it, normally there's no issues with posting a link. Like I do that all the time. But this time, like when I first did it, I went in, tested it, it worked. One student got it. She said she clicked 4 times on the link or something, and it worked. But no one else it would work for. So I just ended up posting it separately. But I'm not sure if there's something else I need to do to make it work for them. Or if it was just maybe a seesaw glitch. Maybe it's overloaded. I don't know.
Good question. Does anybody have an answer for Gwen?
I would say try again and see what happens, because it
Yeah.
sounds like you do them quite a bit. So it could have just been a one-off, maybe something got slightly switched. But if you upload links before, I would give it another try. And then if not, absolutely email one of us and then we can definitely follow up and try and figure out if there's something more there.
To clarify, I upload links for like videos and things like that. No issue with that. This was a Google form for like a quiz. That was my first time doing one of those.
I see. Yeah. I would maybe
And
go check the permissions.
Most of the kids
Sorry,
could use it, just that one student?
Yeah, she was able to do it. I know sometimes when I have included verbal instructions on a document, like they can click re-record and then they can access all the tools again. So they know enough to mess around a little bit. And she did something and got it to work, but she couldn't articulate very clearly what she had done. Might have just been a fluke that she, clicked it enough times and it worked. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Try again, Gwen, and then if you want to email me as to whether it's worked or not, we can bring it up again.
Sure,
and we'll try to find the answer for you.
Thank you.
No problem. Steph is also sharing to Judine. You can also put the link to the conservation area website, and then they can select the field trip you want them to go on. So just another option. Just the link straight to the website. And then is that, Steph, just some instructions about this is the link we want you to go on? Or the website? That's another way. Easy.
It sounds like a fun website. I want to check it out.
It does, I know. So it looks like we're caught up. So Sam,
Yay.
do you want to do the Apple clips? We've had some requests for getting started with that. So Sam is going to show you how to get started with Apple clips.
I am. I'm going to do my best. This is my, I'm doing it on the iPad here. So I'm going to share my screen.
Just as a show while she's sharing, you want to put a thumbs up or I have. Who's used Apple clips?
You guys seeing my screen okay?
Yep. Okay. Sherry's used it. Sherry, Cindy uses it all the time.
Okay, now you get a nice and close-up look at me. So that's great. Okay, so you guys can hear and see me okay?
Yep.
Okay, I can't see the chat anymore or anything. So Jenna, you can just let me know if I need to stop or whatever, okay? So when you go into clips, it's going to look like this. The first spot you're going to want to go is you're going to want to go and look up in the top left corner are these squares here. This is where you tap to create a new project. So I'm going to click create new, perhaps. Okay. And then, sorry, I'm going to put my pen away here. So if you click on posters, this is where there's going to be a bank of all the posters that are available to you in the program. Once you've used one before, it'll be kind of downloaded on your device. So for example, I'm going to click Once Upon a Time. I've used it before, so it pops up for me. So you're going to double click on the text, and that's where you can just type something. So I'm going to make a quick little video today around growing some seeds. My kids and I started this little greenhouse project, so I'll use the pictures for that. So that is the title I'm going to use. If you click the little colorful star down here by the red button or like long spacebar looking key there, that's where you're going to have access to if you want to add any additional text or stickers or emojis. So say I want to, I don't know, add a sticker here, and it's going to say, I don't even know, awesome. This is not going to be my most thought-provoking work I'm creating here. Oh, I could add a Bitmoji. That's where I could look for my Jeep one, fraud. Okay, so I put my text in there, and I can just kind of move that around. I can pinch the corners. I can make it bigger, smaller. I can put it wherever I want to put it. I could add more than one. So say because I'm doing something with plants, I'm going to go to that same sticker spot, and I'm looking around for stickers or emojis here, and say I'm going to, I don't know, find a plant of some sort. Oh, I should put like broccoli and spinach and cucumber, because these are all the things that I'm growing right now or attempting to. The same thing, I just click the little X to come out of it. I can move those around. I can make them bigger or smaller, whatever I want to do with it. Okay, so I've kind of got my page set up how I want it to look. So this is kind of the key to getting things started in clips. As you're recording something, you hold down the red button for as long as you are recording. So if you're just recording just a blank page with no talking, that's fine. You still hold it down. If you are recording with a person talking, same thing, you're recording it the whole time you're talking. In the top right corner is where you can add music. So I'm going to click there, and I'm going to get my music on. So you can use music that you already have on your device. I don't really have much on here, so I often go to the pre-recorded soundtracks they use. And same thing, once it's been downloaded or used before, it's on your device. So you can see the ones that I kind of already have quick access to, but all you do is you kind of click on it. Hopefully you guys can hear that okay. That's just what it'll sound like. So I can just pick, there's a bunch of fun ones, and there's a whole whack load of them to choose from. So I'm going to choose that one because it's super fun and catchy. So I go back, it just says, you can see on my screen right now, it says that's the soundtrack that I've selected. I'm just going to click done. So now that music is attached to my slideshow. So I'm going to, for my first page here, I'm just going to hold the button and not talk because I want to just have this as my beginning of my movie. Okay, so that's kind of my first slide now. So my second picture, I'm going to upload. Yeah. Yes.
We just had Cindy was saying that if you on that pink spacebar, if you swipe right to left, it'll hold it. Record hands free.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, so swipe right to left. Hold to add the selected poster. I don't know how to do it, Cindy. Hold on, I gotta delete that one.
Okay, I don't have my iPad set up.
That's okay. There's a challenge for me to figure out because I actually have a video to make this week. So I'm going to figure that piece out. because I was thinking we would show a bit of clips today, and then I would let you guys play around with it for the week, and then we could like revisit it next week with more questions as we explore it. So that'll be a good one. Okay. Thanks for the tip though. So I hold the red button right to left.
You kind of like swipe. To YouTube. To YouTube.
Okay, I will. I'll Google it. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to create my second page of my clips now. I'm going to go into my library. I've got a bunch of pre-recorded pictures here. So here's my like super exciting greenhouse experiment. I'm going to pick the picture. You can move it around, shape it, whatever you want to do with it. Just same thing. You're just pinching in and out with your fingers. So here I'm going to maybe talk. I'm going to say, this is our greenhouse experiment. We are growing cucumbers, celery, beans, pumpkins, lettuce, peppers, peas, carrots, onions, and many more. Okay, so that slide's done. Now, if I click on that picture that I just recorded, I can choose to mute myself if I want. That would mute my voice so you could just hear the music. That feature is really handy for if you're at home and you have a noisy household like mine and you're doing a work project and all of everybody's voices are in the background being picked up. You can mute all of the background voices so that it just picks up on like the music or whatever you want for your presentation.
So just to interject there, Sam, my daughter also did one this morning. She did a basketball video, and so she had me video a bunch of clips of her dribbling. And she didn't want the dribbling; she just wanted the music. And so that's where she muted the original sound.
Cool. Look at you all Apple Clippy now. Hey, Jana?
We're trying.
So while you're on the clip too, you can trim it. So if you go to the little scissors there, you can make it longer or shorter, kind of whatever you want. If it's like a long clip, say with your daughter dribbling, like you could pick the spot that you wanted to highlight, and then you're just gonna click apply. Same thing, you can add effects here. So say I wanted to go back to my like fun veggie stickers or whatever, I could add those in type thing. I could add text in. So whatever, I'll just put so cool. Okay, so I can add all that stuff in. Okay, you're gonna wanna make sure in the top left that you're clicking done so that whatever you're doing saves. Okay, and then you're right back to this screen again, and then that's where you can add something else in. So say I wanna add another poster piece. I'm gonna add instructions for growing, perhaps, who knows. So one thing to keep in mind with these pages is the poster pages only allow you to do so much text. There will be a limit as to how much you can fit on the page. Sorry, I'm trying to find my, there we go. So that's where things come in handy, like using the stickers. So say I run out of space, say I had like 6 instructions, it only let me 4. That's where things like the text stickers will come in handy. So you could just have a whole bunch of your stickers kind of lined up on your pages. So I could do number 1, number 2, I could keep going type thing. And you can make them as big as or as small as need be for your page. So I'm gonna click the X. I'm gonna hold the red button. So here I'm gonna say, maybe I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna explain my instructions. So I'm gonna hold the red button. Instructions for growing the greenhouse. Make sure you have a light and a warm heating pad underneath. Yada, 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 yada. So there's my, obviously, very bare bones instructions. So yeah, so at any point in time too, you can click the play button and kind of see what you have so far. I do that often when I'm making the videos, because then you can kind of see, okay, what clip's really long? What do I need to trim and make shorter? You'll notice that there's some slides that haven't been muted, so you'll hear all kinds of background noise. You can adjust that. You can go at any time and change anything.
Sam, can you turn the music off? Sam, can you turn the music off?
Yes, like on all together.
L. Hendricks is suggesting that it says I find it plays through the whole movie.
Yes. I feel like there's not a way, unless somebody knows, to stop it at certain parts other than if I was to stop at a certain part, I would just record like nothing at that point in time. So sometimes you have the option of either muting original audio or muting recorded audio. So you can mute one of them out. That would kind of be how I would maybe go around that. I don't know if anyone has another idea for that. Yeah, but typically the music lasts for the whole thing. But if you're talking, the music will go quieter under where you're talking. Like it'll just kind of be like soft background music. Does that help a little bit, maybe? I'm going to press play now. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay. This is our greenhouse experiment. We are growing cucumbers, celery, beans, pumpkins, lettuce, peppers, peas, carrots. Instructions for growing the greenhouse. Make sure you have a light and a warm heating pad underneath. Yada, 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 yada. So yeah, that's like a real quick, dirty instructional guide there to using clips. I think honestly the best way to kind of get into it is to just play around with it. The most important learning piece for me around it was holding the red button to get anything to happen. That was the piece that you really needed to understand. And then as you go along, you kind of figure out some of the tips and tricks. And if anyone wants to try it this week, I'm happy to revisit this next week and kind of get a little deeper if you want to know a little more around it. I'm sure Nicole and Jana have stuff to tell about it too, because we use it quite a bit on the program team. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff to do with it. Is there any more?
Do you want to share the scenes choice?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
oh
it.
yes.
I was going to say Sam.
Yeah.
As well when I was
Go ahead, Nicole.
first exploring this app. It was a frustrating thing because I was touching the pink space bar, and nothing was happening, and nothing was happening, and I couldn't get it to work. But you have like every second you hold it down for your picture or video will appear for that many seconds.
Yeah, that's the key to the program, like really figuring that out. So this scenes feature is new, I think this year. And so you can just like click all kinds of cool scenes to be part of. So here I'm in a forest, and here I'm like, I think it's The Incredibles. Yeah, so anyways, same thing. It's just like I'm here, I'm gonna select it, and now I'm going to hold the red button, or pink, sorry, I guess it's pink, isn't it? I call it red. And record the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm in The Incredibles movie. Look at me go. Okay, and then I recorded it. And so I can now hear myself. So I'm just gonna, I can click on just that slide if I want to hear it. So I'm gonna click over to it. I'm gonna click play. Oh my gosh, I'm in The Incredibles movie. Look at me go. Wow, I hate hearing my voice on camera, but anyways. So yeah, so that's the scenes portion of it. There's also a camera, so you can use things from your library, or you can just use the camera in the program here. Yeah. Anything else that you think we want to touch on before I stop sharing my screen?
No. No.
Okay, cool. So I will go to that. I'm gonna stop sharing.
I think that double voice was coming through Sam's device when we were sharing. I think with her sound on, when we were talking, it was also coming through Sam. So sorry that it was going through double. I heard it as well, and I got a quick text from a few people that said, we're hearing your voice twice. But I think it's just when Sam was sharing her screen, I think our voices were coming through her devices. So
yeah, sorry.
No worries. Just I just didn't want to interject too many times, even though you were sharing some really neat things. Cindy said Apple Clips is a game changer. I think that scene one, I think could be super valuable for us just to get started. Like just pick a scene and video yourself. We talked last week about the value of getting your face out there to your kids, and just sending a, hey, happy Monday, the way Cindy started, right? Hey, happy Monday. It's me. This is what we're going to be doing. I hope you're all doing good. And they'd probably just love to see your face and your voice. And so I was thinking with Apple Clips that that's probably a really neat way. Just to get your face out there. If you're not ready to do the whole Apple Clips, but just one quick scene, try that this week, and maybe we'll chat next Tuesday about how that went for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, are we allowed to go to our guest teachers now? Because I want to squeeze that in before we run out of time. Is that okay?
I know.
Okay.
And we can
All right.
hold the breakout rooms till next week, so because I think it's important for Cindy and Jess to share.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, and I think a lot of teachers are coming and see some cool ideas. So, without further ado, Cindy and Jesse, you want to share some cool stuff? Are we going to Learn 360?
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's we should start there.
All
for
right.
Sure.
All right, can you see everything?
Yep.
All right, so Sam wanted me to show a lesson using Learn 360. So just to give you some background, I have 21 kids in my class. 15 of them are boys. 10 of them think they're going to be WWE All-Stars. So reading, writing, all of that's not 100% them. So Jesse and I have tied in some science. We did some structures. We are doing some structures. So we put together a bunch of lessons using Learn 360. So here's an idea of the lesson. So Learn 360 is offered through the board. If you go onto the portal, click Program, Technology, all of your information to log in is right here. It even gives you the student login. So you just click on that link and you can search everything. So then after I attach the link, they have to log in using LKDSB student as their login and the password student, but then the video will load right away. So if I click on the link, I'm already logged in. That's why it comes up. So if you worry about logging in, it will take you directly to the video you want, and then they can just watch the video. So it's just about a bunch of kids. They visit a bunch of places. So I fast forward here.
Hi guys. Hi Nina. Welcome to my workshop and thanks for your great.
So it's kind of nice because they can click on the side if they want to go back and review something again. So if I go back to my lesson, they watch the video, and then for their activity, they need to build something, or sorry, build a house for this one using anything in their house. So I had blanket forts, Legos. Jesse, what'd you have? Have you done this?
I have not done those ones yet. I did those basic ones starting what a structure is and what materials and fasteners are. So I'm not at this part yet.
Okay, so, but they're getting some parents were requesting some more hands-on activities that are away from a device. So this kind of incorporated that. And then if I click on what they need to do, so they take a picture of whatever it is they built, and then they had to answer the question, why do tall buildings not fall over? This actually falls into your language because it's your oral language. And I got some really detailed explanations using a lot of the science terms. So Sam, is there anything else you wanted me to show about that?
Sorry, I was on mute and I was talking the whole time. Okay. I would say no, that's great, but I thought it was really valuable to see how you have the written instructions there and oral instructions as well, which I think is super helpful for a lot of students. So just something to think about. I thought it'd be helpful to see as a visual for some of the kids accessing from home.
I consider it the triple threat. So you got the emojis, you've got the words to read, and then if I click play.
Click on the link. Ask your parents to help you log in. The login is.
Then you've got that oral instruction too.
Yeah, that's great.
The nice part about Learn 360 is if I go back, once you've created one of these, you can create a whole bunch. So all of these Nina and the neurons were created in about an hour because you can just use the copy and edit, change the title, change this part here, the little activity, and then re-record. So I pounded out all of those activities, like I said, in about an hour.
Cindy,
we have, oh, go ahead, Jenna.
Those little emojis that you have that aren't like normal emojis, where did you find those?
So when I do the emojis, I just use my iPad or my phone, and it's just the regular emojis that come up on the iPad or the phone.
Gwen, does that answer your question?
Yes, thanks.
Awesome.
Okay. Is there any other questions around the 360 piece? Or I think Cindy and Jesse, did you guys something else you were going to show as well?
Well, I was going to talk, last week there was a lot of talk about sharing activities. So that's why I convinced Jesse to come on here. So we've kind of collaborated with pretty much everything's aligning right now with our read alouds, our science, our math. So if you look, we've already got 18 activities generated. So I went on a big Learn 360 binge. And then Jesse, you can see here, created a lot of these supplementary activities. Jesse, can I share one?
Yeah, go ahead.
So for example, she would do this, she did this introductory lesson.
Our new science unit, Science, Materials, Objects, and Structures. When exploring something new, we need to remember that we can use our 5 senses. We can use our senses to observe the characteristics of objects. You can touch, you can taste, you can see, hear, and smell. What is...
So it's great because we've developed double the amount of activities in half the time because we're sharing it. So we kind of end up texting each other back and forth saying, hey, I'm going to put this together. Can you put this together for me? And it all comes together.
The read alouds have been the most helpful because we want to share one read aloud a day with the kids, and that's a lot to make in clips. So it's kind of nice that we're both doing it together, and we're doing our Google Meets together as well.
Yep, we're going to start a Google Meet math talk on Wednesday. So I'm going to be doing basically what I'm doing now and sharing my screen. And then she's going to be kind of handling the kids, looking for those math signs and handling the calling out and stuff.
Wish us
luck. That's awesome though, because I think it's work smarter, not harder, right? Like this is a lot for everyone.
Well, that's
so
the power of collaboration.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. There was a question that I wanted to, I don't know if we got to them all. Did we get to all of them? I think so. Oh, there was something we had talked about, Cindy, too, about how to turn off sharing content.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Is that something that you and I chatted about? Okay.
Yeah, so there, just a heads up that there is a setting in Seesaw that if you don't turn it off, parents can actually automatically upload to Facebook or anything like that. So if you go into settings, if I remember how to do this. and you go into family likes, comments, and sharing. You need to take family sharing off. So this top one here. There's still ways that if they're techie, they could do it, but it kind of eliminates the ease of it. And then that helps protect student confidentiality, even your confidentiality if you don't want your stuff out there.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, another question that's come up. How do you get your name to show up on an activity that you create?
It automatically does. So if I go in, like, are we talking about on the bottom or?
Gary, do you mean on the bottom where their names are?
Or was it the read aloud?
Well, on the activity that Cindy created, I think it was the one that she was showing us, it said CB up at the top, but I don't know, like any activities that I create for my class, my name doesn't show up. Like, yeah, it's got CB and then Cindy Buckner, but it doesn't show up on mine on the activities that I create.
That might be after I share it. So I share this activity to my school shared folder.
Okay, I wondered about that. I thought maybe you had to share it first before that would happen.
Yeah, because if I go on to one of Jesse's, then it'll show up Mrs. McLaughlin up here. So it's after you share it, so it shows who created it.
Okay, thanks.
Jesse, I really liked yours too because it was you talking. Like one of the things I'm really just thinking about, especially like with my own kids learning at home right now, right? Like the value between sending home a YouTube video about materials, objects, and structures versus you talking about materials, objects, and structures. And I think that's a really important piece for the kids at home right now. It's you still teaching them.
The kids are excited too to hear other teachers that they know.
Yeah.
Like a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Would it also come up if we used the account settings and then the icon? Like if you changed it in the icon settings?
Which one?
That's my icon. My face is my icon on Seesaw.
Is there a way to change the icon for your face?
Yes.
So is that in icon settings?
So if you click, are you talking about this, Jesse?
Yeah.
If you click right on there, so that's my dog. You can choose from the ones that are already there, or you can upload your own image.
Thanks for sharing that.
Awesome. Okay, I'm trying to be, it's like 1 minute to 3 o'clock and we're running out of time. So if there's anything else pressing that wants to be addressed, if you want to put it in the chat, otherwise we might have to carry forward anything to next week. Looks like there's some information around like Seesaw shortcuts and stuff. So maybe we can add that to our list of things to explore next week on our office hours and really show people where they are and how to use them.
Sam, it's Ben. It just feels like it's like a rock concert here. Like people are yelling encore. They're, chanting,
I feel like
a lot of good stuff.
Or, Seesaw, Jesse McLaughlin's here. Like this is quite the thing. See, thank you so much, everybody. But not surprised that there's great information being shared with the knowledge of this.
I just added a link to the shortcuts in the chat if you are looking for those shortcut icons.
Awesome. I was just going to bring that up, Nicole. So you're on top of that. And thanks to, I think it was Gwen who brought that up, the Seesaw shortcut cheat sheets.
I see Rod's face, so I feel like he's going to kick us off.
I was just going to give a reminder to people, if there's anything in that chat, like links that they wanted to get, they might want to grab it. The 3 dots in the lower right-hand corner of the chat, you can save the chat. You hit those 3 dots and you have the option to save it. It'll show up in a folder on your computer called Zoom.
Good reminder, Rod. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I want to say a quick thanks to Jesse and Cindy. We appreciate your sharing. And we want more sharing. So if you guys, anyone out there is listening, wants to share something neat that you think would be helpful for other teachers, like please reach out to us, because we want to hear about it. So yeah. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Can I have one thing?
Yeah.
I just got to note that for some folks, it seems that sometimes for some of our primary students or older students, people are putting some deadlines at work. We know as a best practice is giving students lots of time to do things, because remote learning can take more time. I know it does, certainly in my house. My children are a little bit wonky sometimes. They're not getting things done as quickly. So deadlines, I don't know why people would do that. There may be good reasons to not put hard and fast deadlines, but work together with students and find out how that can best work based on the family situation. So I just kind of texted to me. So I just thought I'd just kind of answer that question live so people could hear that answer. So, but hey, I just want to say thank you. And I love it when Rod comes in, because I always hear that song Closing Time, which is that you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Thanks, Ben. All right, well, thanks for coming, everybody. And yeah, reach out if you need anything. We are here. Questions, feedback, whatever. We're open to it all. So please, it's myself, Nicole Hooper, Jana Blasher. We're happy to hear from you. And thanks, Jesse and Cindy, for joining us. Bye, everybody.
Email us some ideas. Bye, guys.